I don't think... Can I reverse the camera? Oh, nice. Nice. I'm going to have to move it a little bit, see if I can get something out of that. There we go. All right. I did not know I could do that, but I'm glad I know now. Let's go ahead and reset the old gasometer. Turn on the old light. Here we go. There's a big-ass storm I'm about to drive into. It just got some gas. I don't think you can see that, but I'm going to try and move the camera. There we go. What's that say? That's the current thingamabob. There, pennies in the back. $4.29 for that gasoline. All right, I'm going to turn this around. I'm not going to be doing a lot of that, guys, because like I said, I'm about to drive into a storm. I saw it on the radar early. It looks pretty good. It's going to be interesting because I'm going to be going across the bridge tunnel. And if there's an accident on that thing, then we could be stuck for hours. And this is not good because I left late. Let me close these windows. Leave a little air vent back there for her. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going above. Hey, Pineapple, I see you. Oh, yeah. Hey, worst case scenario, I get to document my death, right? Got some candy for the ride. Waiting for a couple other people to pop in here. If you could share this link with somebody or do something like that, that would be super duper. But yeah, I got a couple things that I wanted to talk about. Don't know how long it'll go. Yay. See what this does. Woo! That was fun. Start turning the speed of my windshield wipers up a little bit. Going down the road. Oh, you know what? I need to change my microphone, and I hope it still works. I think you guys will be able to hear me. Rain is loud. Can you guys hear me okay? I just switched off to the good earphones that have the good microphone. I don't know if you can't hear me well, I may have to. Okay, good. Thank you, Pineapple. Yeah, there was a big ass orange bubble over the eastern shore right now with a big red circle in the middle of it. You could actually hear the weather coming. It was so bad. Nice. All right. Well, I'm not going to waste a lot of you guys' time. So what I wanted to talk about was I'm starting to get the feeling, I'm starting to get the inclination that the window for preparedness is closing. And I think I'm going to adjust the camera there, and I think that there's no sense in panicking about it, that's for sure. But that window is definitely closing. We saw yesterday that about 10 people within a couple of hours of going live joined the Discord. And a couple of them actually started talking. I mean, like, really talking. Like, one of them is, like, from up in Alaska. You know, filling freezers and killing moose, you know what I'm saying? And turkeys, and they're just, like, living off the land type of stuff. And the people that do this all the time, you know, they're starting to feel that pinch. They're starting to feel that need to start putting things away. I was talking to one this morning, and they were talking about, what was it, taking things out of their freezer, thawing them out, and then canning them because they were afraid that under the current situations they were going to lose power. So they're actually like adapting to the way that they're trying to prep. And I think that we need to take a good hard look at that when the people that that live off of moose and deer, and even though they're in towns, they're in cul-de-sacs, they're in neighborhoods, but they still live that way. And they're adapting based off of either the current or the future circumstances that they see as a problem. Then we need to take a look at that as the Western preppers. Hold on. Hello.
Hi, 14.
Thank you. You have a good day. Just take my time. There we go. Get that window rolled up before we get out here in the mess. Let's see, were there any comments where I wasn't looking? Nope. Good. And so we have to take a hard look. It's like I use the people that are, like, for lack of better words, pioneering, the people that are kind of the tip of the spear. They're not on YouTube. They're not on TikTok. They're actually people that are. Is my stuff on? There we go. Do some dials here. They're the people that are living this lifestyle that's a step above it, because where they live, they have to live like that. If they're adapting their lifestyles, then we should be using them as our barometer to go, things are happening, things are about to happen, things are in the middle of happening. There could be trigger points that are engaging or activating that are making these people that live like this go, we have to change, we have to adapt right now, because they see the writing on the wall. For them, it's not the future, it's the present, it's the future for us. Hey, what's up, Window Liquor? So using them as the barometers is a smart thing to do. I was listening to a couple other podcasts today, and there was only one, I think it was Northwest Prepper, who I'm not really a fan of, but he's been doing some lives lately that are just spot on. I would definitely check him out. And he was talking about inflation and how it's getting more expensive. I'm doing good, Window Liquor. I'm driving in a storm, bro. I just passed through one of the small pieces of it that was kind of intense. I'm thinking I might have just got just a baby, like a little piece of it. But I'm going to see if I can't focus. Can I focus out there? Can I focus that camera out there? I can. I'm thinking I've got just a little piece of it, and now I've basically driven out of it. I hope so, because it was good size. All right, so, but, he was talking about inflation and how it's getting expensive. No, I am not. I'm still in Virginia. I'm after I go over the bridge, I'll be in Virginia Beach, and then I'll be in about an hour and a half from there, I will be in North Carolina. But I'm heading to North Carolina, if that's the real question. So the inflation, in his perspective is that we're starting to move into a point in the economy where it's not a matter of empty shelves, it's a matter of being able to afford what's on the shelves. So the prices are starting to go up unilaterally across the board, with multiple products that should have been, that are generally and normally much cheaper. If you guys didn't know, it's Friday the 13th. I'm a superstitious person, but that is one superstition that I do not follow. I'll drive around a black cat. I won't pick up a penny on heads, and there's a couple other ones, but Friday the 13th doesn't bother me, because I know Saturday the 14th is tomorrow, and that's double sevens. Let's see. So that ability to pay for whatever you're trying to prep has been increasing little by little by little by little, to the point where it's now noticeable. We all threw a fit when it turned from the Dollar Tree to the $1.25 tree. Can you imagine when it's the $2 tree? I can, because the business, they can only suck up the losses for so long. Their shareholders will only take so much crap before the shareholders go, well, this is clearly not what I thought it was, the $100 tree. That's funny. You know, the shareholders will only go so far and say, hey, this is not what I signed up for. I want all my money back. I'm divesting in your company. And it happens. It happens. I'm not sure if Dollar Tree is an IPO or openly traded organization, but either way, stock would go down if people started drawing all their money out, because yeah, the you know, as a shareholder, you're supposed to get paid so much every quarter. Sometimes it's a month. It really depends on what your payment plan is. But if you're not making the money you used to make, and they're telling you that they're just trying to keep the company afloat, you might just go, you know what? I just want my money out now while it's still worth 75 cents on the dollar. And those kind of things do happen. They really do happen. I think that we need to keep a very careful eye on that window. You know, I don't see it as much as other people. I think if you're eating your preps, if you started to use your preps and you don't normally do it, then you probably need to start trying to think about what you're going to do next. We need to get back to manufacturing items, stop relying on other companies. Absolutely. You know, so here's the thing. That whole New World Order thing. What this all comes down to is that we had enough people trying to become part of the global this and the global that, and we were America and we made our own shit, and you know, it was like, well, you need to help the other countries out, let them make it for you, and then you can just consume it. And that made us rely on too many different countries and rely on too many different people. And we did it to ourselves. We allowed it to happen. I mean, how long have we been hearing stuff like "Made in America"? You know, and it's 40%, 50% more expensive. Sometimes 66% more expensive than the stuff we can get off a boat that comes from China. So we did it to ourselves. We absolutely did it to ourselves. I think you're absolutely right. I think the more products that we can make in America, you know, it's like, so you have like one company who makes a product in America, and because their actual production and business costs are 3 times what of that they need in China. So it has to be more expensive, but that's just that one company. Now, what happens when you have 2 or 3 companies in America? Well, then now there's more product, and now the price can go down because more people are purchasing that product instead of the stuff that's coming off the boat. And that's the kind of stuff that we need to get back to. We need to have a strategy, a business strategy that keeps American money in America for as long as possible. And I'm not saying disconnect from the world. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we can easily create our own industry. We can create our own economic strength here in the United States with lots and lots of different businesses if we just start producing those things here. Let's see, money would stay in America. The chat just comes up way too quick. I only see it as a flash. I don't feel like driving. Let's see here. We need to get back to manufacturing. Okay, yeah, there you go. And Window Liquor was saying the same thing. Yeah, and as long as you keep that money here in the United States, then that is just more, you know, I mean, so the entrepreneurial spirit is very simple. You know, you start with a small business, you know, it's like food trucks. You know, you see these guys with pop-up food trucks. They make these delicious burgers. They're not super priced. They're just competing with the other food trucks in the area, you know, for business. And then they start making a lot of money. And then what do? Instead of buying another food truck, they go and they invest in a brick and mortar business. And they just take their entire business model and blow it up and destroy the business itself. The brick and mortar business will almost always fail because they got away from their roots. We're doing the same. We did the same thing here in America. We got away from producing our own things, building our own things, keeping the money here. And now at this point, I'm kind of just regurgitating what I've said 3 times already. But I think if we do that, and the biggest problem is that we don't have an administration that is actually thinking about those kind of things. Every single thing that they're involved with is all reactionary. There's no proactiveness. You know, it's like you go to what is it? I'm going to give you that view. There you go. You can just listen to me. If you take a look at the baby formula problem that we're having right now, that's mysteriously in the last week an issue. Last week, my girlfriend told me I should do a story on that. I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. I should, but I want to stick to more prepper stuff instead of economic stuff. But that issue started in February when one single company in America got shut down because of whatever reasons, and they just couldn't figure out what was wrong with the formula, the infection or contamination, and they couldn't figure out the problem, so they just shut it down. Well, that one factory made 40% of the product in America. One. Once again, here we go. If it's just one, we're not making it, we're not doing it right. If it's 2 or 3, then we've got a shot at it. And there were 3 others, but they're all little bitty guys. They're all these little, less than 500 person companies, small production. Some of them are very specific. Some of them are very specialized. But that one company shut down, and bam, it's over with. The government knows what they're doing, trying to fix anything. There's deliberate. Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. I want, and listen to me on this, okay? There is part of me that says that the people in our government are possibly trying to, that we'll just say they have ulterior motives. And it could be something simple. And it could be as simple as creating a crisis so that they can come in and save us so that they look good because elections are coming. It could be that. And if you want to put the tinfoil hat on, that is the very most likely possibility as far as the government goes. The other side of that coin is that they're completely inept. They're so focused on the radical far left. You're down in Chesapeake. I'm on the Chesapeake Bay right now. I'm heading towards Virginia Beach. They're so focused on, and this is the more logical one. They're so focused on their agenda that they're completely ignoring. It's like they turned the American radar off. And then someone goes, "Oh, by the way, this plant just shut down. The FDA just shut this plant down." And okay. And they're like, "Really? Okay, whatever." And then one day they say, "You might want to turn the radar back on," and there's this giant blip coming at them, at Mach 5 that they can't avoid and they can't spin their way out of. And that just seems to be what's happening. There's so many things, like a horse with blinders on, very true. But there's so many things that it's like you can't make this shit up. It's like they do not appear to be smart enough to be making all this shit happen as if it is planned. They just appear to be inept, foolish, focused on what they want to get done as rapidly as possible by ignoring all of the things that are affecting Americans. They don't give a crap about Americans. They don't. If you think that your government, if you think that this administration gives a crap about you, you are dead wrong. Dead wrong. And all that's going to happen if you're not paying attention is you're going to end up carrying one of my shovels. That's how bad this is. I think we need to, you know, I was talking to somebody and they wrote me basically a 5-page dissertation the other day about how we need to grab our pew-pew sticks and march on to the onto the Capitol, you know? And I was just like, I understand what you're saying, and I believe in what you're saying, because that's how every great country has ever started. It was through a revolution where we wanted to stop the government from hurting us. I mean, if you just think for a split second, it is kind of turning into a nice view. You're welcome. If you just think for a split second, if the British monarchy in the 1700s was really kick-ass, super nice, took care of the people above all else, we would not be America today. We would not. We're America today because they were tyrannical. They decided to use force against us, against the citizens. You know, what do you got there? What is that? 9th Amendment, I think. You know, housing soldiers in people's houses, whether they liked it or not. No, yeah, that's 5th Amendment, I think. Anyway, you know, it would be that simple. It would be, bam, you know, let me see if I can focus that. I'm focusing. Nope, not letting me focus. It would be, we wouldn't be America. We would be British, you know. Bigger turnout on January 6th. Yeah, I mean, listen, that was a planned situation. I think at this point we all know down deep in our hearts that it got out of control because there were activists within there, there were crazy people within there, and I'll say it, there were FBI people in there, and they were trying to push an agenda and control the situations. You know, what you have to understand is that the military has been trained to do that for years. I'm trying to focus here. The military has been trained to do that for years in foreign countries. You know, it's insurgency, counterintelligence. They're using the same exact tactics. But what we have to do is we have to realize that marching on Washington solved zero. It solved nothing. It solved absolutely nothing. People watched it like the biggest frickin' soap opera on the planet. You know what didn't happen? People didn't get in their cars and instantly start driving. And people didn't set up camps on the White House lawn. You know what I'm saying? They didn't sit on put up tents, you know, in the what is that? The big park the park that's there in D.C. They didn't do what should have been done. They didn't finish the job. You know, it reminded me of the Gulf War. 9 months of prep, 100 hours, and they give up. And we stop. Instead of making sure that we never have a problem with this country ever again, we stopped. And we withdrawed, and we're like, we're the good guys. We don't want all this stuff. We just came because you were bad, because you messed with the Kuwaitis. So now we're leaving. We've proven our point. And you have to understand, when you're dealing with these people that are just out of control, you can't stop. You have to completely destroy their agenda. You have to make things so bad for them that they never want to come back, that they must flee the country in fear so they can never assemble again. It has to be made so perfectly clear that what they're doing will not be acceptable. And that is not what happened. That is not what happened. They went up there, they got themselves, they got themselves controlled by a bunch of crazy people and government people. And it made them feel good for a split second. And then they all left. Oh, the sun's going down, I guess it's time to leave. They all left. They had the opportunity to speak to the House. I believe the House and the Senate were there too. They had the opportunity to speak to the entire Congress, to lay down that redress, those constitutional redresses, to lay it down, and then go outside and wait till they fixed it. And that's not what they did. They played this little game where I'll steal a couple of laptops. They lived in selfie world. They were making fucking memes, dressing up like buffalo fuckheads. I think you said it right. It was a circus. And we would not be in this position right now. I don't know if this thing's going to focus. We would not be in this position right now if, I don't think with all the drops on there, it's going to stay. It's going to let going through the city. It's going to be a problem. I don't think that we would be in this position right now if they had just done what they came to do, which is regress, state their grievances, use their constitutional powers. I think that if they had done that, then we wouldn't have $6 diesel. I saw it yesterday. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Matter of fact, the gas station that I just pulled out of, all of the diesel pumps are turned off. And all of the pumps that have, it's like you have the gas on one side and then you have the diesel on the other, basically two spigots. All the diesels were covered up. And that is a major, that's a ROFO, that's a major gas station that is on the Eastern Shore, right at the entrance, or right at the beginning to the southbound lane of the bridge tunnel. Major route for trucks. And I had not seen a truck in an hour since I got on the road and started driving, and I stopped several times. I had not seen a single truck. I'm going to go ahead and flash that. There we go. Federal Reserve is the reason why we have 6. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for that. Okay, listen. So it's my belief that we're having a problem with fuel in general here in the United States because we were getting lots of fuel from the pipelines that have now been shut down and are in the process of being shut down because these companies are not going to keep pumping oil down to a pipeline that's not going to get used. The Canadians know this. I believe there's also another one that's in Mexico that we used to get oil from. And some of it's fuel too, If you believe that there's a battle with the federal government and landowners who have basically companies that own lands with permits to drill that have not drilled, if you think for a second that the federal government is in some kind of argument, it's somehow that the driller's fault. It's a ploy. It's distraction. Look over here while we do this. That's exactly what it is. These guys are in the business of making money through oil and petrochemicals. Do you think for a second that if they knew they could make more money by producing more oil or gasoline or drilling on a spot that had never been drilled before, that they wouldn't be doing it? That's foolish. That's foolish. That's like owning a bookstore and having a box of books in the back that are all collector's items and very expensive, and never putting them underneath the glass inside your bookstore. So to believe for a second that the government is somehow controlling or not in control of this gas problem is foolish. It's absolutely foolish. You know, it always comes back to that Fox catchphrase that you never hear on the alphabet, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, CBS, shit like that. You never hear them say, in January of 2020, we were energy independent. You never hear them say it. They never talk about fuel shortages. Their new filler now is Ukraine. They do 15-minute bits on Ukraine. And then when they're done with that, they talk about the European Union. And then when they're done with that, they talk about NATO. And then by the time that hour's over, it's time to talk about Ukraine again. I'm sorry, I'll take a glance at that window liquor. That's a pretty big paragraph for me to try and read while I'm in downtown Virginia Beach. But it's getting a little warm in here. I'm going to crack that window. I'm pretty sure this mic was going to give me enough play so that you could still hear me. And I used to work for the government, and I know exactly how fast they work, especially in reaction to a problem. Especially in reaction to a problem that a 3-year-old could solve instantly. You ever heard that term, out of the mouth of babes? It's like, whoa, oh, Mr. President, we have this problem. And then he looks at his kid and says, so what do you think of that? And the kid just blasts out the solution. The 4-year-old kid just well, why don't we just do this? And then he looks around and they all look at him like he's fucking crazy. Because they know it's the right thing, but they're not going to do it because it would go against his agenda. It's a little sickening, it's a little disheartening, and I think that at some point, you know what I haven't seen? I just thought about this. No, we can never go back to the gold standard window liquor. I don't know if you know that or not, but it's not possible. And I'll tell you why. It's not possible because under the gold standard, there was only so many things that could be built because they would cost so much money. And the problem is that there's a limit on the amount of gold that we have, that anybody has, that actually can be found. A lot of people don't know it, but silver is cheaper because you don't have to dig as deep to get it. Gold is very deep. That's why they have these deep-ass mines to dig for gold. It's very labor-intensive. It costs a lot of money to dig gold. And so there's not a lot of it. So there would never be enough gold to go back on the gold standard based off of our current technology, our infrastructure, our logistical platforms. It's just not it's not possible. There's not enough gold in the world right now to pay for the world economy for even 1 year. We are, whether we like it or not, we are on a fiat currency. The entire world is on a fiat currency because of that particular thing. Now, I think who left government charge of goods, natural resources? Hold on, that's a valid question. Let me see that. I've stopped here. Okay, who left government in charge of God's natural resources to sell back to us? Joseph, I think he just went down a route that only people that are religious would either argue, believe in, or have comment on. Myself, I'm not religious, and I just try to make sense of the world and be as good a person as I possibly can. But anyway, so come on now, you're a little close to me. I think that as long as it's preppers, one, let's get back to the original subject, that window, the window of opportunity to be what we call prepared. We should be at this point doing preparedness mindness things every day. And I'm not talking about stacking cans or buying shit off eBay or learning how to shoot better. That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about there's this transition that should take place unless you're living the lifestyle, you know. That's absolutely ridiculous. We can go back to a gold standard. All you have to do is raise the price of gold. So what you're talking about is so what you're talking about is making, if you raise the price of gold to the level that is necessary to support the current world, okay, you would literally make people that owned an ounce of gold millionaires overnight. Do you know what that would do to the cost of food or gas? You literally would instantly create hyperinflation. Because people were going to go, oh, well, I guess, well, since everybody's a millionaire, I guess now my bread is $100 a loaf. Because that's really the way the market works. Whoa, shit. Okay, these paragraphs are killing me, guys. Let's hold the paragraphs off until I get out on the highway, okay? It's a little tight here in here, and this guy just decided he's going to get in front of me. Welcome to fucking Virginia. It's a land of people who don't know how to drive, and don't get me wrong, Florida sucks too. Florida's the land of the people who know how to drive right but don't want to. They just want to live on their horns. Let's see. But I think let's get back on point. The focus right now, so you either live the lifestyle 24/7 or you don't. And I think that we need to increase the amount of time that we're actually living that lifestyle instead of just thinking that Walmart's going to give us more cans and I'm making a big pile. I think we need to start looking at it from the perspective of not wasting anything. You know, I saw a TikTok video from, I cannot remember her name, but maybe it'll come to me. But she was canning apples, and she basically, let's use the whole apple. Let's do something with the whole apple. And I thought, okay, that's cool. I know how to do this, that, and the other thing. But she made me think. It's like, okay, so she's going to peel the apples. Then she's going to take the apple peel and she's going to put that in jars, or a jar, because she's going to make some vinegar with it. And then she started putting she got the seeds out of it so that she could sprout it. And she knew she wouldn't get any real fruit off of it for several years, but she was still going to try and do something with it. And then she actually showed where in 4 days they were sprouts. Her seeds had started to sprout. But in that little 3-minute TikTok video, she had also talked about not just the vinegar, but oh, by the way, if you're making apple cider vinegar, then you have to do this. And she's explaining how it works, and then she opens it up. If you see those bubbles, the vinegar's not done, but you've definitely made it a beverage. So she literally was so she started with just doing the apples, and then she ended up using the core, then she used the peel. I think probably the only thing she didn't use was the stem, but most apples don't come with stems. By the way, side note, if you've been with me long enough, you know that I took some Walmart cucumbers and got the seeds out of the suckers, I want to say 6 months ago. I dried them out and everything, right? And the month of May is here, and I am now sprouting those cucumber seeds, and they are growing like crazy. It'll probably be, if you guys remind me, I will do a snapshot of them and post that on the make, like, I think it was a YouTube post for you guys to see that. If you remember, I put them in those little vials and I wrote the word HOV line signs are covered up. We're still in the city. Come on, man. If you're, oh, those aren't that. Those are blinkers. Those aren't signals. But yeah, we need to get to that point where we're actually doing the work now. And I know that means more. I mean, for me, I'm retired. I can do whatever I want to do. But you know what? I get overwhelmed with the projects that I'm working on now. And a lot of them are video related, but they're all directly related to my preparedness too. I'm sorry about that. I pulled the cord. So, let's see. I've got to put a fan inside. I didn't do what I was supposed to do yesterday either. I got to put a new fan inside my portable refrigerator. I've got to rewire an old battery jumper box with solar assets to turn it into a solar, basically make it an old school jackery. Let's see, what else do I got to do? I've got that new gadget I was talking about yesterday. I got to do a video on that. I've got to learn how to use and then program my own UV5R with the gadget and make a video on that. You know what I'm saying? So I can program all of my radios. Let's see, what else? I've got a handful. I've got to take care of the chickens every day. I've got 3 dogs and a cat to manage every single. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's difficult for you guys, and you guys have jobs. So I guess what I'm saying is that it's difficult. Where's that guy? He's my blind spot. I'm coming over. I think it's difficult for people with jobs to try and get these preparedness things done, but we have to start thinking about, like, using the whole apple. I mean, I think that's a good analogy. We're moving into use the whole apple. We're not throwing away anything, All right, this looks like the weather's getting better. Let's switch you guys to see some of that. I think I'm in Chesapeake County right now, but it shouldn't be much. Well, I am turning off of this portion of highway onto another. It's getting bright. It's getting bright. I could take a glance at some of the chat. Bumps. Only gold and silver prices would rise up. Price on goods services would not raise like the materials. I hate to say it, but that's an assumption. That's, So all of our foods are connected to markets, and people in the markets want to make money. That's what they're there to do. The businesses want to make money. Do you think that there's going to be some government order that says, okay, so an ounce of gold is now $1 million, but no one raise your prices to try to make more money? I'm gonna 100% disagree with you. My family doesn't waste. Yeah, I mean, there should be nothing that we're wasting. I mean, I used to take out maybe 3 or 4 bags of trash a week, and now I'm taking like 1 out, and the only thing that's in that is like wrappers from shit. I've actually contemplated like collecting aluminum cans so that you could smelt them down and make make parts from molds or something. I mean, I would like to do something like that. Or hell, just selling aluminum. Oh shit! That came up fast. There's gotta be an accident up here. I have a metal forge. I am so jealous. Who said that? Window licker? I am so jealous of that. Yeah, this is a problem. This is a real problem. They must have either one of the bridges is open or there's a frickin' accident. And it's not good for the Jeep. I got a cooling fan on from when I'm stationary, but during the winter or during the summer, I literally will have to pull over and park until the traffic starts to move again. Otherwise, this sucker will overheat. I melt brass, copper, and aluminum into bars. Do you just save the bars, or like for projects, or do you sell them? It's too early to be an evening trap. Oh, fuckhead. I really need to be 2 lanes over, but I may be forced to go over this bridge. Stack the bar for possible future currency. I got you. Yeah, I mean, you know, you start looking at the cost of aluminum, and I mean, it's you know, I honestly think it's just cool. You know, I know that, you know, a block of aluminum cannot be cheap right now. Sorry if I'm not too talkative, guys. I'm trying to finish this little snack, and I'm trying not to get myself eliminated from the planet by stupid people. This guy's got a sticker on the back of his truck that says birds aren't real. Is that some prepper shit or what? Yeah, I had a friend of mine used to collect old extension cords. He would throw them in the fire and then take all that copper wiring for himself. And then he didn't make it, so I ended up with it. It's just like this ball of copper wire. It's got to be at least like 5 pounds. What do you think that's worth? I think I'm in the right lane right now. I think I need to be in the next lane over. I don't want to stop. Come on, man. I'll look for your response in a second. Like I said, I'm trying not to get removed from the planet too quickly. All right, there's an opening right. Oh, you son of a bitch. He's coming into. He's trying to come into. All right, so now I'm in the right lane. Hopefully it was a good decision to get in this lane. Hey, if you're here, guys, do me a favor. At one time we had like 6 or 7 people in here, and I've only got 3 thumbs up. And I'm not chasing likes. I just like to see who is actually in here. If you meld it down, it's more pure and worth more. Gotcha. So are there places that'll actually take it? I mean, will they not like go, oh, how do we know this is really pure copper, you know? I mean, I know there's a place that takes like scrap metal places. Because I am interested in that. I've always wanted to I watched those videos where this guy melts down aluminum cans and then makes like he'll pour them into a mold of like a fake gun or some crap like that. And I've always thought to myself, that is a pretty interesting way to make like parts for stuff that that might break or wear down. You know what I'm saying? Like a replacement part. It might not be as strong as steel or iron, but it would still definitely be a replacement for something, you know. Or hell, because it's lighter, it might actually, and maybe it doesn't like get beat on a lot. It might actually be stronger or a better. You know, it might be an upgrade to whatever you're working on. You know, if you've got, then all you need is basically a drill and a tap set, and you know, you basically got a new part. I made brass knife. It looks cool. Oh, that's cool. How durable is it? I mean, is it something that you're gonna like bend in half if you want to? I mean, brass is pretty pliable. I don't know. I've never heard of anybody tempering brass. I don't know enough about it. But yeah, hey, definitely drop a picture in like prepper gear or something like that. One of those side channels on the Discord, and you say, "I made this." You know what I'm saying? Because I'm curious to see what it looks like. I would definitely look at it. I wonder if I still have it in here. So check it out. Let me switch the camera real quick. It's gonna have to be quick. So check this out. I bought this at a store. It's a wooden knife. It can definitely hurt somebody. It actually fits in your hand pretty damn good. All right, here we go. Boom. All right, so I was able to get up on my exit. I guess the bridge was just, someone lost the strap. I guess the bridge was just up, and the traffic oddly started getting better the second I got over here. Yeah, no, so this guy that I used to watch, remember me showing you my lifted mowers that's 7 foot to the steering wheel? Yeah, I remember seeing that. That was hilarious. It's like, why? Because I can. These people are maniacs. This is the end of the maniac stuff right here. The rest of this is all like, it's just gonna start. Oh, it's gonna open up to just regular old highway here in a little bit. Starting to get a little bright. Oh, there we go. I just realized I can't read. Gutter cleaner. Oh, I got you. It's pretty smart. It's pretty smart. So we've got 5 in here. What are the preps that you guys are working on? You got to be working on something this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, things are. You know, it's Friday. It's Friday. You know, when our blender in chief, you know, when his solution to the inflation problem during his address is just to blame other people and things, and then actually give no solution whatsoever, then you've got to be. Come on, man. Get off your brake. Just take your foot off your gas pedal, you dipstick. You got to be prepared. If you're working, you got to be working on something that, you know, every single weekend, every time that you aren't mowing the lawn or whatever it may be, you know. Also, trim tree branches. Gotcha. I gotcha. But what are you guys working on this weekend? Damn, my nose hurts. What are you guys working on this weekend that's going to get you, you know, it's going to better your position, better your situation? Because I'm telling you, that's, you know, what I'm going to be working on is I'm going to be working on figuring out how that radio programmer works. I've got a bunch of lawn work I have to do, as long as the weather will let me, but we'll see what happens. So, because I'm kind of losing that. That's why I'm headed back to North Carolina. But in the evenings, you know, right now I've got a freaking, I'm trying to help as many people as I can. And to my Patreons, I stumbled across the secret gold mine. And if everybody knows about it already, I'm gonna be so sad. I stumbled across the secret gold mine of free prepper books that you would normally pay for on Amazon, that are not Kindle, that kind of thing, that you'd actually have to pay for them. I found a place, hundreds of them, that are 100% free. You can download them in a fucking heartbeat and create your own little fucking repository of all these books that you would normally pay like $12.99 for on Amazon. And as soon as I get that locked in, I'm gonna make a video for the Patreons. See, I'm working on a steam engine. What? Come here, you. Working on a steam engine and a lawnmower engine with 12-volt alternator for steam power. That's pretty fucking awesome. I guess it's going to be wood burning, but that's pretty awesome. But I'm going to be working on that video this weekend to get that out to the Patreons, because when I could not believe, I absolutely could not believe it works. It's just have to build the oil engine. Gotcha. I could not believe the books that I were seeing on this website that were 100% fucking free. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing that and getting that out to the Patreons. When I'm not doing yard work, I guess. All right, come on. We got to be done with this by now. Let's go, guys. I want to be out of civilization. I want to be out on the open highway, heading to North Cackalack, doing that thing, reading the chat. So I only got like, what, one response on what people are doing? And I know there's a handful of you that are like listening to me while they do housework. So I got you there. And I can never trust the meter. You know, it says there was 7 people, then it was 4, now it's 2, then it was back up to 7. So I don't even look at that thing anymore. I just assume I have a million prepper audience. All right, we'll roll that back up a little bit. There we go. Not as noisy anymore. We're going to be cruising down the road. You don't need to see all that. I'm going to flip back to this. Let's see what else. I just realized that the people that listen to my live streams that are recorded on YouTube as their go-to for like listening to stuff while they work, they're not going to be able to do that with this one. I mean, it's going to get recorded, but you're listening to it now, so. I probably have maybe 20 more minutes left on this live stream, and the reason is because I always use our stop and let Penny do her business at the rest stop that's just inside of North Carolina. Let's see. I think it's hilarious too. Like this spot that we're driving past right now. That is an old Nike missile site. We got, yes, wood burning. If it works, have to build. I got you. We already read that part. I'm going to get out of these people's way because they want to go way faster than I want to. All right, well, it seems as if I've ran out of things to talk about. I appreciate the people that stuck with me from beginning to end. I know who you are. And all those that jumped in, that's cool too. Do me a favor, hit the like. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. I do a lot of stuff. I've come to the belief that I have to keep doing stuff on YouTube because there's a few of you out there that just love YouTube. So I'll keep doing things here and there for you guys too. I think the biggest problem that I have is that when I do videos for TikTok, they're a completely different format, and although I could upload those onto YouTube, you'd be watching this little strip right here with the black sides. And I don't know if you like that or not, but I feel like I'm gypping you. I wish TikTok used this format so that I could just make one video and then upload it to the different platforms. Because TikTok is the only one that requires that particular view. It's an interesting truck. If you're not one of the Patreons, you might want to take a look at it. I'm growing that sucker every day. Now that I've got access to that website, yeah, that's going to change a lot of stuff. Let's see. What we got here? Please, plus working on my garden. We tripled the size this year. Well, that's good. That's good. I do need to make my garden a little bigger this year, but I want to do above ground box gardens, but the cost of lumber is through the roof, and I do have some lumber stashed away, but I really don't want to use it for this particular task. Okay, so once again, if you're not part of the Patreon, you might want to take a look at it. I don't know if there's a link in this description because this is a live stream from my phone and it will go likely to private as soon as I get off of here and I have to go back and make it public. But just check out one of the other videos, look for it, support the channel, and we're definitely doing good things these days and at a rapid rate. I made a video 2 days ago that had 91,000 views. It had over 300 comments and over 2,000 hearts or thumbs up. So we're doing good things. I want to do good things here. I want to do it for you guys, but it takes time, and time is money. All right, guys, until the next time, stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you, and I'll talk to y'all later. And for the Patreons, I will talk to you tonight at 7:30, regardless of where I am on the planet. Love you guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. I'm getting all sorts of crazy warning messages.